Well, I've got all my pieces sitting here, and I think I'm ready to start gluing them together. You can kind of see here, I've got all the pieces. Except for this is going to be the bottom. I'm just going to stack those on top of this. I've got the roller here to spread glue, and then it's ready to just stick in the bag when it's ready to stick in the bag. This was all pretty much still set up from when Jerry just did the 12-string neck, which is the second neck that Jerry did for the 12-string. So I guess I'm just going to go at this. Ooh, that's not right. I need the other side. I didn't think this through.
How's it going?
It's going. Alright, I believe we're ready to turn the vacuum on. I'm going to do my darndest to hold this where I want it. If you want a good explanation of everything that's going on here, you should go watch Jerry's video. But basically, I turn the vacuum pump on and it sucks the air out of the bag and then continues to keep it at a certain pressure as long as the pump is on. So my goal is to keep this board on top where I want it so that it covers up any sharp edges so I don't poke a hole in the bag. It takes a little bit to get most of the air out, but once it starts, you know, once you see the difference, it's just like that. It's quick. I think. Is it plugged in? No, that would be why. Jerry unplugged the tube to the bag, and I didn't plug it back in. There we go. Now it's sucking air out of the bag. Yep. Just about sucked all the air out. There's still a little bit of motion in there. is. And here in a second that pump will turn off. The pump turns off. And I'm ready to leave this. It looks really good. Well, I thought it did. It looks like it might have moved. It did. My top piece has shifted. I'm going to have to take it out. Alright, we'll try it again. Alright, now it's back up to pressure, and I think it's looking pretty good. I hope it's looking good enough. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to leave it for a while. Probably until in the morning. I'll take it out in the morning. And that'll continue to run to keep pressure in the bag. So we should be good. Well, the neck is out of the bag, and I've already run it through the joiner to get this top flat. You can see I've marked, well, you might be able to see it, I've marked the neck profile with pencil on the side here. Before I go cutting this out, I'm going to route the, I'm going to cut the truss rod slot down the center. It's easier to do when it's a full block, so I can push it up against the fence of the table saw, because that's where I'm going to cut it. We're just going to run the table saw down the center. The one thing I forgot to do was grab my truss rod. It's up in my room and I need to go get it. So after I go get the truss rod, so I know how thick of a slot to cut, then we're going to cut the truss rod slot. Alright, so I've got this set up right now. Well, I guess a little bit of explanation. Here I've got the truss rod, so I can fit it to make sure my slot is deep enough, or, well, not deep enough, wide enough. And what I'll do is I'll turn the table saw on, and then I'll run this through. See, the blade is just sticking out there. I'll run this through, and it's pretty close to centered. It doesn't have to be super centered. I tried to get it as close to the white line as I could. I'll run it through, and then I'll turn it around, and I'll run it through again, and it'll cut the same amount off of each side from the center, because I know that all of my pieces are the same size. So it should be fairly easy to keep me centered. If you need more explanation than that, I suggest going and watching Jerry's video, because he explains it pretty well. He just did the 12-string neck earlier today, so hopefully I can manage this one. I guess here we go. Well, no plane can go off without a hitch, so my very first cut was not as centered as I thought it was, and it ended up making my slot a little too wide. But I went ahead and just finished it off, cutting out the center of it, and now I've gone ahead and glued in a couple of pieces of Paduke as kind of shims on each side. I've got my truss rod in, kind of pushing them out, and then two drill bits that are the same size as the truss rod, just helping push the shims out to each side. So I'm going to give these some time to set up. Once that's set up, I think we're good. I don't think it's going to be a problem. as soon as these are set up, I can work on cutting out the shape that I've got on the side here. So, I'm not too far off of this, but I'm going to let these set for a while. Get the glue good and dry. Well, we're over at the bandsaw. I'm ready to cut this profile on my neck. I'm going to probably be very careful with this and leave more than the pencil line, since this is the first one I've done. But I think if I go slow, I can be pretty careful. So I guess here we go. Well, there you can see we got it cut out, and it's looking pretty good. It's starting to look like a guitar neck, I guess. I'm pretty happy with my racing stripe. I don't know how well you can see it, but I think it looks pretty good with the red and the white. Yep. Cool.